Welcome back, everybody, to episode 5 of Typical Mondays. As always, we're your hosts. I'm Ben.
And I'm Lane.
And we're coming at you with a fresh, hot episode. Some say the best episode yet.
Fresh hot take.
Yeah. So, how you been, man? How you doing?
Good, great, actually.
It's been a week since we've seen each other.
It has, yeah.
Which is usually par for the course.
Yeah. Standard stuff. Kind of bummed I didn't get to go to the gym this week at all, actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of
really bummed about that. Yeah. Just busy with the baby. Had some babysitters cancel a few times. But, I mean, everyone's busy. So, I mean, it's like the holiday season.
Right.
Everyone's out shopping. The work's going crazy. It's just fun. Haven't slept in literally days again.
Nice.
But yeah, I really want to get back in that gym. So hopefully next week's better.
Yeah, I've been house sitting for a couple that we know that have been really good to us. So, and it was more house sitting their teenager than house sitting the house. One of those situations.
Didn't you? I don't know why I thought of this. Didn't you house sit for my mom once and like killed her fish?
What?
Really? No.
I did. I house sat for your mom, and
to this day, she thinks you killed her. She thinks you killed her fish.
What?
Yeah, man. You'll have to talk to her about it. I think it's just her pond. Yeah, because I don't think she's ever had a fish tank. But I think like, yeah, I left Ben house sit for me, and I come back and my fish are dead.
Huh? Yeah, I remember they had. It's not a koi pond, right? But is it? We call it koi pond.
It's just like a
goldfish.
Pond. Yeah, like goldfish pond. Was it in wintertime? I mean, this was like a while ago. Not recently. I mean, this was like a long time ago.
Yeah,
4 years
5
ago.
years ago, something like that.
But
because she had chickens and the fish.
Was it cold outside, or was it like during summer? If it was cold outside, maybe the fish just died because there was not a heater inside there. But to this day, she's like, "Well, don't have Ben watch your house because your fish will die." Oh,
yeah,
man. I don't know why I thought about that.
Was it? I'm trying to remember how cold it was. I think it was. I don't know.
I mean, in retrospect, she doesn't really care. I mean, the fish are like $2 or $3 each. You're not really, it's
gotcha.
not a big deal, but
yeah.
It's still pretty
Trying to remember.
Funny.
But yeah, no, I just remember the chickens and the fish. Huh. Well, weird. That's a weird note to start on. Anyways, yeah, I didn't get to the gym much this week. Anyways, either.
We're both lazy schlubs.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna blame it on the laziness. It was just a weird situation. Like my wife was, not there, so I stayed there by myself, and so it was like way out of the way, and it's like a weird.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we both had pretty busy weeks then. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to get back tomorrow though.
Yes, I am going tomorrow. Tomorrow is chest and arms. I might just do everything since I had squat this week. So
right, yeah. So it's like if you can get there, just do all you can.
Exactly. Oh man. So
do you go mornings or you go nights? What do you do?
It depends. Right now I'm going with a friend of mine named Zach, and he's usually going in the afternoon. So he usually goes a little earlier than I'd like to, but I can sometimes get him to go. Yeah, I mean, if it was my choice, I would love to wake up, stretch, have some coffee, and then go straight to the gym.
Right.
Get it out of the way. But lately I only have time in like the late afternoon. So I've been going around 8 or 9. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's like it's at night. It's not late afternoon. It's like night.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we go.
I
Yeah. It's 8 or 9. But I thought you like to go to bed like around 9 or 10.
Well, yeah, before the baby.
Oh,
now
yeah.
I don't go to bed like 2 a.m. So 8 or 9 is early, man.
Yeah, we go like our kickboxing class it goes. They have it between 12 or 11 and 1, and then in the afternoon, and then they have it again from like 5 to 7.
I used to go there. Like that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? Or is it like?
Oh, it's every day.
Oh wow! Oh geez,
yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah. So and then
cool.
Yeah, just a kickboxing class. Yeah. So we end up going at at 5 o'clock or something
every day.
Every day, yeah.
You're stepping it up, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it used to be like once or twice a week. Yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe you feel the same way. Like when I started working out, like I felt like something like the Biggest Loser, because like the cardio is like really intense. It's like a lot. It's a lot of burpees and stuff, because she has a CrossFit kind of background. So it's not a CrossFit class, but like some of the stuff like burpees and that stuff, she brings into the class.
Gotcha.
And so like I was like on the verge of puking
Oh
for like
my
the
God.
first week.
CrossFit.
And then I hated it.
Oh boy.
But then it gets to that point where like you like it and you know you look forward to it. And it's something like
Look forward to puking.
yeah. Yeah. And then you know, it's something that my wife and I do together. So it's like a fun little
That's cool.
you know, getaway, you know, us time kind of thing.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's fun.
There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to get back. I don't do any classes, just weights. I need to do more cardio, so I'll probably do weights and I'll start swimming for about a half hour afterwards.
Right.
Do 30, 40 laps, something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like again, I'm with you. I hate cardio. I think it's like a common guy thing.
I think it's a common thing in general.
Yeah, I mean, everybody hates cardio. Yeah. But this is, I like this because like, you know, you get it in without like running on a treadmill or whatever. A lot of like box jumps.
On a side note, runner's high is amazing. Also applies to mountain biking. After you're on the 5th or 6th mile, at least for me, since I'm so out of shape, I get the runner's high when I'm at the 5th mile. I've got a friend that'll do 20, 30 miles on a bike, mountain biking. Wake up and do it, go to work like nothing happened, not even sore the next day. You're like, oh, I just did 20 miles. That's it. And I'm like, what did you just say? That's it. That's like how much I do in a month. But
Lord, what kind of shape's this guy in?
He's not in like great shape.
He's like average kind of.
Yeah, kind of like an average guy, probably middle aged too. I think he's like 45.
Dang.
He's just been doing it so long, he's built up like immunity to it.
Right.
It's also kind of a $5,000 bike. Probably doesn't help.
Dang, $5,000 on a mountain bike.
Yeah, but it's you really need to go to.
And when you're riding like 20, 30 miles a day, I mean, you might as well have a good bike if you're that into it.
I would say at least get a $500 to $1,000 bike for starters. Maybe you can get like a $700 bike used for like $130 or $200.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I got mine. It's a giant 29er for like $130. And like
that means nothing to me, but I'm assuming it's a good deal.
I mean, yeah, it's a hardtail, so it's like a bike that you would like feel confident in like letting someone use while you're on the trail. So it's like not like a pro bike, but it's
is it like kind of like prosumer where it's like that entry level to pro?
Yeah, it's like you can kind of get your feet wet into the experience of mountain biking, but like it's not like dual suspension or anything crazy. But it's fun to do. You definitely have to go. I mean,
I don't know, man. I just anything with less than 3 wheels,
physical exertion.
Yeah, anything less than 3 wheels, I don't have a great history with.
Yeah, but like it's not motorized. Like you can easily control, like stop, brake. I mean,
you can easily control while you
got 2 brakes. Remember that
plummeting towards the bottom of this mountain.
Remember the time? All right, so back whenever we were kids, you know, we used to live on the same street, neighbors actually.
Yeah, adjacent houses.
Ride bikes occasionally, but remember whenever we did that bike race? Was it with you or was it with Alex? I'm pretty sure it was with you. I think Alex might have been there running, or maybe 2 people were on bikes and one person was running.
Alex didn't run much.
Oh, right, but well, neither did we, to be honest.
We ran more than Alex back in our day.
I think someone was running. And 2 people were on bikes. I don't know. A race took place, okay? And it's
I know what you're talking about.
Where the very end of your street has this kind of like logged border about the size of like a standard chain link fence that goes up and then makes like a U.
Yeah, I'm familiar with you. Maybe this is not the story we're talking about. Is this when you slammed on your handbrakes?
And did a full front flip?
See, this was actually right in front of your house is when it happened.
No.
Because the skid marks were right in front of your driveway. Remember?
It might have happened again, but it for sure happened at least one time down here. I've crashed that red bike multiple times, but this time we were flying down. I know you were there. I don't know if you were on a bike or if you ran, but someone bet someone that they could beat us down there. I'm faster than you when you're on your bike. I forget. This sounds like something you would say, though. Really?
Me?
I thought it sounded like you. I don't think he would.
It sounds like an Alex bet. Alex was an idiot.
Yeah, I guess, but if you're listening, maybe. But I guess long story short, I'm pretty sure I won, and then I hit the brake.
If you're on a bike, I'm sure you did win.
Oh yeah. But I also beat whoever was on the other bike. I don't know who it was. my memory's garbage, but I totally won. Hit the brake. It was the front brake. Did a full front flip. The bike span out, and like I don't even think I landed, but like came away like unscathed completely. No helmet, nothing.
What I remember happening is you slammed on your handbrakes, and you did a full flip and landed kind of sideways on your front tire. That sound like what you remember?
Yeah.
And it came down your front tire, and you went forward, and it flung you forward. Yeah. And you came out with just like a strawberry on your knee. Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
I remember that being down the street. You remember that being in front of my house?
Yeah, because as I remember it, it was you and Alex were trying to see who could leave the biggest like skid marks with your tires, which is very different to what the contest you're referring to.
It probably happened twice then, because I think the time that I'm remembering was after that, because I got way more speed than like a skid mark. Because right by my house, that's like on the not like uphill, but like it's kind of like not at the bottom either, so you can't really get speed. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, who knows?
Whatever.
Do you want to talk
Bike
about
stuff?
Do you want to talk about the infamous rock story from our childhood? We're talking about injuries or almost injuries.
Rock story, my dang tooth.
Talking about things that you shouldn't have walked away from.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm invincible. Yeah.
Looking back, I think I was injury prone. Holy crap, you were there's So
you were injury prone. I had a lot of things happen to me.
You had many brushes with
which like I think if it would have happened to you, you would have died. Maybe
probably.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
I always had a bum ankle.
Actually, looking back at that, I didn't even go to the hospital.
You didn't go to the hospital. Your parents.
What the crap, parents? Didn't even go to the hospital?
Yeah, so here's...
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, what happened was we had this toy rocket. I think Luke Rose gave it to me for my birthday. You remember him?
I thought we found it in the yard.
The rocket. And so it was
It was this giant smooth, like rolled stone.
I was talking about the rocket.
Oh, the rocket.
That's what got stuck up in the tree. It was like this toy rocket that we would... it was also the toy rocket that messed up your tooth. Your tooth. The day you got your braces off, right?
I think that's right, yeah. We were trying to see who can get it the highest.
Yeah, and so I remember you pulled up, your mom pulled up right in front of our house, and you got out because I was out front, and you showed me that you just got your braces taken off.
Check it out. I'm not a dork anymore. You know?
And so, I mean, I don't know, hours after you got your braces taken off,
a while after.
And we're shooting up in the air, and for whatever reason, you go to catch it.
Yeah, I forget what happened. I think we were trying to shoot it up and catch it. We were trying to see who can go like past the power line stuff. Yeah. We were kids, so like the power line was like high.
A pretty high benchmark.
Yeah. So we did. We got it past the top power line. I think it went farther than that. And I go to catch it, but it's like I look straight up and then try and catch it with my hands going straight up. It's like it just doesn't make sense.
And it nails you on the bottom.
Yep.
Your bottom tooth, bottom row teeth.
Hits my bottom jaw and makes one of my canines
just tweaks crooked. It a little sideways, yeah.
Tweaks my canine. I'm like, God. Yeah. And a little bit of blood. And dented that sucker right back to how it used to be.
Yeah. And so this is the rocket, which was a big part of, was it maybe our first summer when you moved in? That was like... I remember it being one of our... It was one of the first... It was an early summer. Whatever. And that was a big part of our entertainment that summer was that rocket.
That thing was pretty cool. You would shoot it. It would go far. And it would make this pretty cool whistle sound.
Yeah, it was like... It has like elastic like slingshot material and you just shoot it. It's super cool. Anyways, get stuck up in this huge... Is it an oak tree?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's a huge, massive tree in your front yard.
Oh, that's right. That's what we were trying to get down.
Yeah, which is a huge liability, by the way.
Football.
Oh no.
Which makes sense. And so, I don't want to get hit the head with a rock.
So we're throwing sticks, and then the sticks aren't working. So we graduate to rocks. I think
we threw a football at it, and I think the football got stuck.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And then so we find this literal cannonball-sized. Like not a huge cannonball, but like
it weighed at least a couple pounds. I think
it was 9.5 pounds.
9.5 pounds. Really?
So the size of like a small.
You guys weighed this thing?
Yeah, small Civil War like style cannonball. And so
it's really a rock, but I mean, like, good lord.
Yeah. And so I'm on one side of the fence, you're on the other. You're digging for rocks in the dirt. Do you remember this? Your memory could be pretty hazy on this one.
No,
Hazier
so
than normal.
I think we're both on the same side of the fence where your cars were. And we have thrown this stone a few times prior. I think like 3 or 4 times, and we're kind of getting tired of it. But you're like, you know what? Just come on. Let's just kind of stick through it to get this thing out of the tree. I'm looking for rocks. And
I remember being our first time we threw this particular rock.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I mean, to each his own. I have no idea.
It's surprising you remember that week at all after this.
Yeah, I remember everything except for crawling back to my house. Apparently,
yeah. So
no recollection.
You're on my side of the fence. I'm on yours, and
okay, I was definitely on your side of the fence.
Yeah,
so
I'm on the other.
I do know
I
that.
granny shot this sucker like between the legs. Heft it up into the air.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for rocks
while you're digging the dirt. I almost got it. It was like less than a foot away, and I see what's happening. What a coincidence! And so you're digging the dirt, and I see it, and I go, Lane, watch out! And then you just look up to
hopefully see my fate and avoid it
for this cannonball-sized rock
square in my temple.
In your left temple.
Square in my temple.
Good Lord.
Sounded like I got hit by lightning, and then I remember nothing.
And so what happens?
A single thing.
I was terrified. Like maybe the most terrifying moment of my childhood. You start crawling home using only one side of your body.
Really?
Yes. Like
we've been talking about this story in a long time.
It's been a while. And so you crawl home with one side of your body.
Good Lord.
And you're crying and I'm crying. And
oh my gosh.
It was so terrifying. So you crawl home. And so I call my mom. I think Ralph was home.
I remember coming to. I mean, not that I was ever out. I just don't remember.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I was sitting on our couch with my head all taped up with like the grandma was over and they're all just like, oh, he's going to be okay. And my dad's like, he's fine. You know what I mean? Looking back, I'm like, if that would have happened to my kid, we're for sure going to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Boy.
Yeah. The head was all wrapped up. It looked like I had brain surgery or something like that.
Like a Civil War soldier.
Yeah, had a headache for a few days, and after that, I was fine.
You were not even a concussion, man.
Really? It was probably a dang concussion.
No.
I just didn't go to the hospital. I mean, like, how would that...
Well, you didn't have the concussion symptoms, at least.
Oh, okay, well, hey. All right.
And so, which leads into the weird second part of the story years later, is that you were hanging out with a bunch of, this is when you had moved out of the neighborhood. Remember this?
I've had 4 concussions, 2 of which I remember.
Good Lord.
So, there's a bunch of, actually, no, it might have only been 2 or 3, but, yeah, the other one, it was, like, we were still kids, but, like, kind of like, I think it was,
like 13, 15, 14, I would say, like 14, 15.
14, 15. So I don't know what, I don't know why this started out, but we started throwing those like little dirt clods. You know how like you would find like some
like sand
it
or
rains
dirt
and then it's like a hot day,
right?
Like
and it clings together,
yeah,
but it's all just dirt.
It's like a clump of dirt you can throw at someone, and like it's like tacky enough to maintain its integrity in air, and then explode and turn dirt whenever it hits someone. So I don't know what the heck happened. We usually have like airsoft wars in the woods, but this time we're having dirt clod wars. I guess we ran out of ammo or something. I have no idea. So we're throwing these dirt clods, and I don't know. There was a lot of little punk kids in that neighborhood. I think Nick and Vernon were not the punk kids. They were the only 2 that were actually cool. The rest of them can all. Anyways, I forget who threw this non-dirt cloud, which ended up being a rock,
a little pebble. Yeah.
It was like a substantial rock, by the size of your wireless earbuds case, just covered in dirt on the outside. I don't know if he intentionally threw a rock at me, or the moron's like, oh, this feels like dirt, and threw it, hit me square in the same dang temple.
Was it the same temple?
Yeah. And it felt like I got hit by lightning again. I was like, whoa. Like the whole world, I kind of like did a full 360. I hit the ground and got back up after 5 seconds. I'm like, well, that sucks. I've got a headache. I'm going inside again. So, yeah, that was the second time. There was a third time, but I forget what happened.
That time ended up being a concussion because I had to come and watch you, make sure you didn't fall asleep while our parents went to the carnival, or no, it was like
our parents suck.
It was it wasn't
another concussion.
carnival.
Let's just go to the carnival without him.
What was it? No, it was a circus. Yeah, it was like a big
Jimmy
top
at home
circus.
And have his other friend babysit him.
I think we were okay with it because like we didn't want to. We was going to stay home and play Skyrim instead of go to the circus.
Oh yeah, if that was the time that Skyrim came out. Oh, that was the time that Skyrim came out. Oh yeah.
So you were just like laying around, and I was just playing Skyrim.
Oh god.
But yeah,
it's insane.
Anyways, so that's the infamous rock story. I tell that story all the time to kids.
Oh man, yeah, it's insane. I've done a lot of not stupid stuff, but I mean, well, yeah, I guess in retrospect, stupid stuff or things that just crazily happen, and I end up not really getting hurt.
Yeah,
fractured a toe, but that's about it. I haven't really broken anything.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember when you broke a toe. I was gonna say you broke my toe, but no, it was broke my nose.
Oh, speaking of broken toes, I think last week I brought up that my dad got my little brother the Oculus Quest.
Oh yeah, perfect transition.
Which is sold out right now. It kind of sucks because I'm kind of thinking about getting one for Christmas.
Pretty sweet, man.
But so he got VR for my little brother, and this is the first time he's ever experienced VR. Like I've showed him my Samsung VR, but anyone who's experienced real VR and like phone VR,
phone
is
stuff
not the
is
same
just
thing.
not cutting it. Yeah.
So this is the actual VR, has actual controllers, looks real. You can read things in it. So he's playing this boxing game. I forget what it's called because I don't have one. But it looks real. He's beating up this dude. I was not there. I heard about it. My little brother will never forget this story. He's beating up this dude. He wins. So he's now punching the guy that's unconscious on the ground. He's
what game is this?
Take that. I forget
is
what
this
it's
the
called.
bar fight game?
No, it's the one where it's like the guy's dressed like Rocky. It's not supposed to be a spoof, but I forget what.
But it's just like
called.
a boxing game.
Yeah. It's like a VR boxing ring type thing. So he beats up this dude. I think it was like the third round. He's tired and he's mad because it's not easy. It's really not. I mean,
Gotcha.
it's so he wins. So he's beating the crap out of this guy on the ground. He's clearly he already won, and then he goes to kick him. And he kicks this guy, and he kicks the couch and breaks 2 of his toes.
Oh,
he broke his foot the first time he plays VR. That is hilarious. Sorry, Dad, but my gosh.
Oh man!
Take that! Ja!
Oh boy!
Went to the doctor the next day. Broke both of them. Actually, shattered one of them.
Are you serious?
And 90%.
Which toes? Do you know?
I think it's the second to big one, and like the second from the pinky. Yeah, which is crazy.
Gotcha.
I don't know how you only break those 2, but I don't know. He pulled it off. But which is crazy because in Oculus Quest you can actually set parameters of where the room ends to where that doesn't happen. So only VR that actually does that. It's funny that he actually broke his toe on it. But oh my god.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Dad.
Crazy. Speaking of childhood stories and bike stuff, do you remember when we were riding bikes on the sidewalk? Which we were pretty young, and our parents didn't want us to ride bikes on the sidewalks
that much. I don't think.
No, we did because I again never liked a big fan of bikes.
No, yeah.
I was never a big fan of bikes. But anyways, we were riding bikes on the sidewalk.
The sidewalk close to the highway.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so we were riding, and you were up ahead of me, and I hit a bump in the sidewalk somehow, and it shot me off to the right into the road. And I look up, and there is and this is maybe a segue into some of the stuff we want to talk about, is that ish. And so I look up, and there's this truck, like a Ford F-150, come like barreling at me, like 50 feet away, maybe going like 45, 50.
Yeah.
And it shoots me off, and I look up, and I see this truck, and I close my eyes, and boom, I'm back on the sidewalk.
Oh, I was going to say, did I pull you up, or did I bring you back to the sidewalk?
Oh no, you were up ahead. Yeah, so you were up ahead because you were always faster than me. I hated bikes. I never liked bikes.
Stupid freaking bike.
Yeah, maybe this is
beat
why.
Me in my house, whatever. Just like talking crap to yourself.
And then so I flung off into the road. There's this truck barreling towards me, and I closed my eyes, and I was just back on the sidewalk. standing still.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me, you're like, I almost died back there. I'm like, yeah, sure, or something like that. But that's what happened. Good
Yeah,
Lord.
listen, it was insane. I think about that a lot. I was like,
Talk about paranormal, man.
it's just kind of a little transition to what we want to talk about. I don't know why we should talk about this like around Halloween, but here we are.
Lord, that's crazy.
But yeah, and so talking before the show, you brought it up. Maybe talk about some paranormal or ghost, or just kind of gonna jump in and talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
So
we both had some crazy stuff happen, like multiple times, I think.
Yeah, we've had some weird stuff happen together. So maybe to begin, like if we're talking about coming at like ghosts or whatever, paranormal, like anything of the supernatural kind of extraordinary. How do you feel about? Let's start with ghosts, because that's what we started talking about. How do you feel about ghosts?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're real. It's really hard to say, something you can't measure or like really tell, but it's like you something's there because crazy stuff happens. You can't explain. It's like something's there. So it's like, call it a ghost, call it angels, demons, whatever you want. Yeah, something. Something's there and stuff is happening.
Yeah. So. Okay, how about this then? Do you believe in ghosts as in, and I think maybe when people say ghost, you think of somebody who died, but it's like their spirit still around, like thing. Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts in that sense?
I mean, it's possible.
That's a little far-fetched for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I haven't had any experience personally that would kind of tie the two together. I'm like, oh, I know it's true because I know people have, but maybe it's because they want something to happen and it's a loved one, so they believe. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, and everybody has different experiences. I try, when it comes to this stuff, I try not to deal in absolutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Over most things, but I personally, that's a little far fetched. Like ghosts, as in like someone who died and their spirit is still around. Like that's. Yeah. But I have heard some stories from some guys that I really respect and I really look up to, that have some stories that like I had this. Well, maybe I don't know. Shoot, let's just talk about it. We're just gonna talk. This is one guy I used to work for. Really great guy. One of my best bosses ever. He growing up, I think the story goes his family lived in like an old hotel. One of those which immediately is building up to a great story. And so as a kid,
was it called Bates?
As a kid, he woke up and his bed was floating off the ground. And it was like the realest thing he's ever experienced. And he gets down off the bed and there's this like flipping devil dog hellhound thing, like chasing him. And so he runs out in the hall and starts screaming and screaming and screaming. A couple days later, he's at the table and he tells that story, and his brother starts freaking out, crying, because the same thing happened to him when his brother stayed in that room.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's, that's kind of one of those crazy weird things. But that was somebody that I, really respect and look up to. Like he's been a really great guy as long as I've known him. And that's the story that he tells. So that's one of those things, like ghosts, like, talk about like haunted houses, like, I know you have some, but maybe like things that have happened in places like that, those vibes or those like spirits or those whatever's kind of tend to stick around there. Like I get that. Yeah. What do you call it? Demons or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So like it's hard to say. I mean, like I think it's totally possible. I mean, you don't really know like what happens immediately after you die. So it's like it could be possible. Sure. But I have no idea. But I've had some crazy stuff happen to me too. Personally, actually too. So I think we stayed in a haunted rental once. I was over in the downtown Ocala. Cheap rent, gotta tell you, man. Good Lord.
Killer deal, man.
Killer deal.
You can put up with spirits.
the spirits. There was like a ghost dog or something, which it was kind of funny because you said that story and we didn't even talk about this before. Yeah. So, I don't know what it was, but there was like this ghost dog that would drink from our toilet. Because this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. What? Not studio. It was actually big. Yeah. But cabinets would also open up and close. So it was like, it's a dog, either that or it's some thirsty dude or something. He's just drinking from the toilet. But so we would be inside the house watching TV. Blinds would close. by themselves. We'd have a cabinet in the kitchen, open up. It's like, oh, great. It's going to bother us again. But like, we were the people that's like, yeah, come on. Like, not
like kind of skeptic about it.
In the middle of watching The Office season 3, you know what I mean? Like, come back tomorrow.
Now, how do you know that it was like a you know, a dog spirit, hellhound, whatever you want to call it?
Just because at night it would sound like it's drinking from the toilet. So it's like, I didn't even catch that. This was actually a buddy that spent the night. He caught that. He was actually scared out of his mind. And I told him about it prior because, all right, so me and my wife are both on the same page. We believe those things are real, but we don't really give a crap. So it's like, it's like, you're not going to bother me. You know, it's kind of like what we were saying a little bit prior to this. They have as much power as you give them type thing.
That's kind of the space I live in.
Yeah, so I told this guy. He was a coworker at the time, like middle-aged. I think he was like 39 or something like that. His car was in the shop and it broke down while he was at work. So he's like, hey, could I hang out at your house for a bit? And I'm like, sure. My wife worked nights. So him staying there on the couch, she's at work. So I mean, I don't care, you know. So he stayed the night, and I'm like, I'll just take you to work in the morning. And I'm like, but my house is haunted. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, the house is pretty haunted. So and he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, it doesn't do anything, or, you know, I mean, it's not bad. I don't feel weird whenever I go inside the house. There's just something there. He's like, all right. I'm like, he's like, I don't believe in ghosts, so that's fine. You know? So he's we had a pull-out couch, which you actually have.
Is it the same
now.
couch?
Yeah. So he slept on that couch. Pulled out the couch for him. It is now, or it was then 3:30 a.m. I hear banging on my bedroom door, and like, Lane. And I'm just like, ugh. And like in my head, I'm like, this paranoid MF is probably freaked out about the 10 ghosts. So I'm like, what? He's like, I can't take this anymore. There's sounds coming from the bathroom. There's like a dog drinking. The fridge is making a sound. There's cabinets opening. I'm like, the cabinets is fine. I'm like, yeah, it'll occasionally drink from the toilet. The fridge just makes a loud sound, so that's just the fridge. I'm like, just go back to bed. It's fine. It's like, I can't do it. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You're not sleeping with me. So I just close my door again. He goes back to the couch, and I wake up, make coffee, look at him. He's just like sitting up, just awake, just like he didn't sleep the entire night.
Really?
He was just like paranoid and freaked out. And I'm like, yeah, but
and that's one of those weird things. It's like, you know, where do you land on that? Because it's like. That's one of those weird things, man, because it's not, like I said, it's not like hurting anything per se, but like, there's definitely some weird stuff going on. Like, I'm kind of the mindset that like anything like that is, I don't know, like unwelcome.
Good mindset.
Like, you know, it's like anything, even if it's like not, you know, people say like, oh, it's just a familiar, it's not hurting anything. Like, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'd still rather not have it around.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
like if you can't see it, interact with it, and figure out its motive, it's probably a good idea for you not to interact with it.
Right.
So,
and then, you know, I've been involved in a few, and I hesitate to call them exorcisms because of the connotation that kind of comes, you know, like you think of like what you'd see in a movie, and which is really, you know, at least most times, you know.
How did that happen? Were you at like some kind of like sporting event or like, I mean, like, I don't know, like if there's crowds of people, is it like a carnival, a sporting event, or like what?
No, it was, you know, in my free time, I go to sporting events and perform exorcisms.
No, we're not like, I know, Cole Ben, but no, we're just like something happened at an event.
Yeah, I had some people that I knew that had, kind of, you know, come to me and asked me to help them out, gotcha. Which is not, you know, not super uncommon, you know, in my line of work. And Ben Campbell. Yeah, don't call me. I'm not the guy. But with
got yourself a ghost. That'll be $40. You'll walk out.
And yeah, one time was that kind of like it was I don't know what you call it, like a church camp kind of situation. And then one time I had a guy call me to his apartment in like a college town around here, and some crazy stuff tends to happen, man. Like, you know,
In
when
a college dorm apartment.
yeah, college. He called me and he said, "Hey, man, listen, so someone's going crazy in my dorm. Can you come take a look at it? Can you come pray for me and all that kind of stuff?" And so I get there and you know, I get kind of cured up because first off, in my experience, you never want to go in one of those situations alone, and you also never want to go into those situations like if you're not like mentally, physically, like spiritually prepared to walk in.
Right.
You know, and so I go in and he tells me some stuff like there's been like they've been hearing like a woman's voice and like
fun.
yeah, and so like doors like in one room especially. And so I go in there and I kind of walk through what we're gonna do, and I kind of have them, you know, go through some steps. And his buddy was like, you know, I guess he used to go to church and hasn't been to church in a long time. And so he's just kind of like, hey man, listen, I don't know what's about to happen, but and so I just kind of walk through it, and his friend, anyways, kind of starts flipping out in like throwing
About what though?
like throwing himself up against the walls and like being very kind of aggressive. And so
they had the problem with, or they were just hearing voices. And then he just started being
well,
weird.
I think what ended up happening is it kind of turned in. It was going to be kind of like a, what do you want to call it, like a cleansing or like an anointing or something like that of their dorm. It kind of turned into
a spa treatment.
Yeah, spa treatment. Yeah, and it kind of turned into a, like he said, you want to say like exorcism or like spiritual freedom or something like that.
We're gonna give you a toxin cleanse.
And yeah, and a detox, spiritual detox. There we go. I like that.
Detox.
And so, and his friend started freaking out, and he was on the couch like shivering. He was like, "I'm going back to church, man. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop partying." Like he was like freaking out, and so, and the other guy, yeah, was getting kind of aggressive, and so, I think there's like for the spiritual, like paranormal stuff, like there's for sure stuff out there. And like I said, I try not to deal in absolutes. But
I used to be a huge skeptic, did not believe in this crap at all until it happens to you. And it's like, well, they're not all crazy at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. Once you go through something or, you know,
Lord, I've got this buddy, you know Nick, or your mom knows Nick.
I'm familiar with Nick,
So one of Nick's really good friends, they had a daughter. So their husband and wife, they had a daughter. I think it was a daughter. It was either a daughter or a son. He told me this story like a month or two back. It's kind of fuzzy. I think it was a daughter, I believe. I don't know. Who cares? But so I guess she was drawing like these kind of dark, demented, kind of like crazy stuff. Lots of like black and like
just like unsettling stuff for a kid to be drawing.
Yeah, like you know, like people will all have like black faces and like a bunch of weird symbols and stuff like that. And it was concerning to the mom. She's like, okay, this is really weird. Like she hasn't stopped. This is all she's drawing. And the dad's like, it's just a phase, you know. It's like she's, you know, starting to get rebellious and depressed or stuff like that. It's just a phase.
Oof, yeah.
You know, but like I guess it wouldn't stop. She kept drawing crazy stuff. She was starting to not act normal and stuff like that. So the mom, she's like, okay, I know you don't think, or she says, I know you think this is a phase, but I'm gonna at least call someone to come take a look at her. And he starts, I guess, praying for it, and she starts like wigging out. I mean, like, and this is what he says. He says like stuff started to float inside the room, like coffee table was sliding everywhere, like ridiculous. And he said that guy has not missed a single day of church ever since. He's like, this guy wasn't even religious whatsoever. He hasn't missed a single dang service. I think he goes to both services. Like, doubles up. Crazy. And I'm like, once he told me that, I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. But I mean, crazy stuff is for sure out there.
Do you know how whether the daughter got kind of...
Yeah, she's fine now.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, she's going to church too.
I bet.
So just nuts, man.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, nuts. It sounds. I mean, you know, when you go into situations like seriously, like you want to be like, you know, whatever you believe in, you know, but you got to be in a good headspace, in a good like spiritual space when you go into something like that, because it can get crazy.
Oh yeah,
it can get crazy. There's one time where it was kind of like at a church camp kind of thing. There was one student who was going through some stuff, and it was this really like calm time, and then out of nowhere he goes like into what I can only describe as like full on like warrior stance, like legs spread, kind of like shoulder width apart, and like hunched down. Like
this like outside, or was it?
This is inside. This is inside.
Like early morning, or like
it was probably it was at night during like kind of a service or something. Oh. And he starts going nuts, and it's one of those things. It's part of the problem. And he's like starts low guttural like roars and like looking at me like I'm
wants to kill you.
Gonna rip. Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God.
So before he could do anything, I bear hugged him as hard as I could.
Just hug it out.
Yeah, hug it out, bro. And he was trying to like wrestle me to the ground, and I just kept pulling him up and yeah, like like praying over him and stuff like that, and doing whatever to do. And I kept wrestling him until he was like physically exhausted, and then he just like slumped, like went totally slack in my arms.
That's crazy.
And then I laid him down, and then we kind of worked through some stuff.
Power of the Ben hug. You've done that actually multiple times. I don't know if you want to talk about the other time.
I don't remember the other time.
Something about like you and your wife's dad before you guys were married.
Yeah.
weren't getting along or something like that, and you just kind of like hugged him until like he like got along with you or something like that.
Going through like an argument.
You're not a hippie or anything like that.
No, it was like I don't know what to do anymore, so I just hugged him. and then he was like kind of uncomfortable with like that, and so he's backed off, and so yeah.
Oh man, kill him with kindness.
Yeah. So when in doubt, just give him a big old bear hug.
I had another crazy experience. We're just getting all these paranormal stories out of our
Is this the one
lately.
in Citra?
Oh no, I forgot about that one too.
Because that's the one I haven't heard about that one. I really want to hear about that one.
So much crazy stuff. Okay, so this one is whenever I was a little bit younger. Fifth grade, sixth grade, between fourth and sixth grade.
Wait, which one is this?
This was with me and AJ. So we got back from the beach. I got a little burnt. Wasn't too thrilled with that. So it had to have been younger because like he had the original Xbox. Like the original Xbox was still like a thing.
Gotcha.
So whatever year that was. So he's out in the living room playing Xbox. I'm burnt, and this was the next day. I spent the night at his house. I'm like, oh God, everything hurts to move. But this was kind of the midday. Like I think it was 10:30, 11, something like that.
Gotcha.
So I go into their guest bedroom. I don't know what it's kind of like a guest day bed, but it's a full bed. So like the frame's kind of like a day bed frame, but like it's an actual twin bed on there.
Sure.
I still didn't fit on a twin bed at that age even. It was kind of rough. Shout out to AJ's parents, Marla and Brian. I don't think I've ever told you guys this story. Or I don't even think I told AJ. I might have told AJ. I don't remember.
This just happened to you.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah.
Okay.
It just happened to me. It was inside the room, and I'm like, "Well, that was crazy. I want to go out here and see whatever he's doing." Oh, he's playing Xbox. Great, I'll play Xbox too. So I was lying in bed trying to go to sleep, but I just couldn't, and the whole bed starts to shake a little bit. It was kind of like someone kind of shook the bed like 3 times, like left, right, and then And then,
you told me about this a long time ago.
And then it stopped, and I'm like, probably just like dreaming something. And then it happened again. It was like left, right, done. And I'm like, what the heck? And then it happened again.
Left, right, up, down, A, A, B, B.
He's like doing cheat codes and it's controlling the room. Oh my God. But yeah, so then it starts to get more. So like it starts to actually shake. And then like do you see the movie Legion? Have you ever heard that one creature talk where it's like it sounds like 1,000 voices?
Don't think so.
Well, it's where's that crazy movie Legion where it's like the ice cream truck driver gets out of the car and he like his like arms and feet grow and it's like really creepy.
I'm familiar with Legion, but I don't know.
Well, it wasn't that guy, I don't think. But so it sounded like someone was saying my name in 1,000 voices. Freaked the heck out of me. I got straight up, snapped up, and I'm like, let's go see what everyone else is doing. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just playing Xbox. I'm like, did you hear anything? He's like, no, I'm playing Xbox. I'm like, all right, I'll play Xbox with you. I'm like, that didn't happen. So that was insane.
Dang. And looking back on it, is there like, like as you analyze it, is there anything you like identify that with, or like
no,
just one of those like nothing. Mysterious kind of.
I mean, the bed was kind of weird, but I mean that's it's not. I don't think it has anything to do with like the weird bed.
I mean, like when you look back, like is there anything you make of it? Like looking back, is it anything you think it means, or like anything like that?
It's pretty creepy. That's what it meant to me. I was like, nope. Oh boy. No, I mean, maybe I got so burned I was delirious, but I don't think so.
You should check with AJ and see if he ever experienced anything like that in that room.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if there was.
Well, no, because you're right. See if he experienced anything.
Yeah, in that room.
I mean, it was the guest bedroom, so I don't think so. But hey,
gotcha.
You never know. Yeah. I could get to the thing that happened in Citra. If you want.
So, well, that's one I'm curious about because that's one I actually have never heard about.
Okay, so I am a realtor. Okay, my first year on the job, 3 years back. So I'm a greenhorn, not really.
Rookie.
It's like oh, someone wants to buy a house. Let me drive 5 hours and show you whatever you want.
You do what you got to do to get your foot in the door.
Yeah. So I'm out there in Citra with a 2-wheel drive Scion TC coupe, front-wheel drive, which is even worse. So, Citra is one of those places that, like, if you're not familiar with that area, it's a little tricky to find houses. So it's like if you GPS it, you'll get the general area, but you'll have to go down a few streets and try and find a house.
Gotcha.
So this guy's notoriously late, as are a lot of people, actually. It's not uncommon for people to be late. So this guy's about 20 minutes late, but I still can't find the house. I'm trying to find it, looking at my MLS sheet paper, looking at the address, looking at these street signs, the numbers, trying to get it right. And a lot of Citra is kind of overgrown, so it's kind of hard to really, it's not like manicured grass everywhere.
It's kind of out in the bushes.
Yeah. So this is dirt road, so I already can't go less than like 10 miles an hour in fear of getting stuck. So go down 3 or 4 streets, not it. Keep going, and I come to the stop where it's like, okay, this house should be here, but I'm like, no, it's not here. But I pull up, and I run into a nudist colony. I mean, this might be like my 3rd month on the job. Maybe my like 10th actual showing, maybe less. It was like I can count them on my hands, and this happened in one of those first few. I'm surprised I didn't quit right then and there, to be honest. So I ran to this nudist colony, which I hope that's what it was. If it wasn't, it was
scenario, it's a nudist colony.
Yeah, absolute best case scenario. Because as I look to the right, okay, so I pull up, and there's about 25 plus naked people in this like lawn yard / wood, but it is very secluded, so you wouldn't just stumble upon this like I did. It's like you have to be actively looking for like a property back here. So extremely secluded, and there's about 12, 13 people just kind of like walking around. There's this really, really fat guy. I mean, like the size of like the Marvel blob. Okay. He is as wide as a standard picnic table is long.
What?
It looked like it might have been an alien. Okay. It was just crazy. I didn't think people could get that big. But he was naked, and he was sitting on that picnic table. Literally, he was as wide as the picnic table is long. Picture that, okay? Just go ahead and get a mental image of that, and do not forget it. That guy exists somewhere. Do not feel bad for you because you scarred me. So. And then there was also about 9 to 10 people. Some were holding hands, some were dancing around a fire with like a weird face on, like this giant bonfire. And then all of a sudden, like as my jaw's dropping, everyone turns at the same split second, synchronized head turning, looks at me, and like then my eyes get really big, and then like we all just froze. And then I hit the gas, peeled out in like a 2-wheel drive drift around like these trees because like this, it's not like a 2-lane road. It's like you have to go around this loop to go out. and you go out on a different road that you came in. So I just hit the gas and just slung the car around trees and just got out of there. Dirt went everywhere. I do not care. But good Lord, that was creepy.
Lord, it's like some Jordan Peele, like Get Out type of.
Yes, I have not seen that. I should probably see it for the reference, but I'm sure it was. It was weird, man. And I got back to the office and I'm like, have any of you, do you guys have any like horror stories? Like what's the worst thing that's happened out of all of your years experience? And they like told me stories and I'm like, all right. You wanted to hear what just happened to me? Like, I'm pretty sure I got you beat. Like, I highly doubt that. I told them the story and they're like, dear God.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
So I usually don't show houses out in Citra. No offense if you live in Citra. Not a bad place, but that particular place was. Man. It was just nuts.
That's pretty out there, man.
Yeah, and they all had like a weird vibe. It's not like, oh, we're a happy hippie dude. They're all just like super weird and like just not good vibes, you know?
Dang. That's pretty weird, man.
Yep. Ask anyone in Ocala that knows me, and they probably heard that story at least once. So. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's pretty out there.
We've had a lot of crazy stuff happen to us. Like it's like unnormal how much weird stuff we've had. I think.
Yeah, like
we don't go looking for this crap either. It finds us somehow.
Like together are like compared to like that or like some of the what do you want to call it, exorcism stuff. Like it's pretty mild compared to that, but like some weird coincidences like what are you thinking of when you like what were you thinking of when you like stuff that happened to us?
I was thinking the time that we were behind Chili's. This is like whenever we were getting back to be friends again. There was a stint where I think
kind of like an off
years.
period, yeah.
Yeah, a few stints where we weren't friends, but getting back in touch. I think I went to church a few times prior to that or something like that. I don't know. But I think we eat at Chili's? I think we did.
I think we did.
We did meet at Chili's,
and then which is weird.
We did eat there. Yeah,
we did eat there. Yeah. And then we were just kind of talking about like life and stuff, and
then I think we were talking about paranormal stuff. Like were we?
Yeah. And it kind of got into that,
and like the mood, or like there was like this weird feeling through the air. I don't know. It was like this like kind of strange.
It was
creepy,
late
like,
at night, and it was like in this parking lot by ourselves, and then you kind of get like that chill kind of.
It's like the hair stands up on your neck, not chill, but it's like some other sense you have knows that something else is. I don't know. It's like your sixth sense is like raising a flag, like, hey, something's going on. I don't know what it is, and you don't know what it is, but something's going on, And then we were in Chili's parking lot. It also backs up to a super Walmart. I think we explained that, and this is a giant Walmart, and at night, all the lights are on. So once we started talking about this stuff, we both got this like strange feeling, and every single light in the Walmart parking lot cut off at once. Isn't that nuts?
It was weird, man. At the time, we were like, and then you know what is even weirder though, because we were talking about like paranormal, like supernatural stuff, and then when we started talking about church stuff, boom, it like came back on.
Really?
Do you remember that?
I didn't know, huh?
It was the weirdest thing. We left shortly after that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we got together. Like, well, that's our time to go. I think that's what I said. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's our cue.
You know what happened to me one time?
Man.
Remember Ethan? You have some history with Ethan.
Oh boy. Yep. I know who you're talking about.
And so he was this guy that we hung out with a little bit, and he was coming to the church that I was going to, and his grandma had told him this is what he told me. He told me that his grandmother had found out that somebody in this church had this ancient satanic text, like ritual book, and it was he was telling me that there's one lady in the church, and she tried to show her grandma, and her grandma got super freaked out, and there was this like ancient like satanic ritual book.
Good Lord.
And then there was this whole big thing. He was going into detail, and again, like those chills, all of the lights went off in the parking lot. It was weird. And then so we were like, so then we left, and then turned out it was completely wrong. We got like super freaked out that there was like somebody in the church like harboring to like destroy the
just crazy.
And it was some like spiritual warfare book or something by like yeah, it was literally nothing. But it freaked us out pretty good.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. My God. So yeah, we are the paranormal experts apparently.
Yeah,
probably have 5 or 6 things happen to us each, and a few of them together. So good lord, man.
And honestly, I feel like I've been involved in things more than like I've had like firsthand. Does that make sense? Like firsthand experience.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like I've never had one of those, like you said, like like a bed shaking experience or anything like that. But I have been involved in like other people's, whether experiences with supernatural things.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so I don't know what we learned from this, but
I don't know. Share your story. Something crazy has happened to you. Post it down below.
Yeah, let us know. And yeah,
we're not the only ones. Now, granted, I've never seen a UFO, so I can't really, I'm not gonna be the alien whistleblower. But we've had some crazy stuff happen to us. So actually, Zach, well, man, sure. Zach and his mom were driving in a car once. This might be an alien-related thing.
I remember this.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I did tell you.
Yeah.
I guess because like a symptom of like being abducted, I think, is what you read is like lost time or something. So they're driving on the road. I think they're coming home from somewhere. It's about an hour away from their house. I forget where. This was forever ago. But they look at the clock and they get this weird feeling. They look back at the clock and like 5 hours have passed. And like they're still on the same road. And they've got like 6 missed calls from his dad. And it's just crazy. So like her husband's called her like 5-6 times. He's called Zach 5 or 6 times. And he's like, where the heck are you guys? Like, it's only an hour drive. And it's been like 6 hours. And they're like, we're still on the road. And they're like, what the heck just happened? So they don't remember anything, but it's like 5 hours just like poof gone. And it's like, well, that could have been that, but I mean, it's it's kind of
right.
Yeah,
that's one of those weird, just weird, unexplainable things sometimes, man.
Yeah, it's like it's all he said, she said, so you can't prove any of it. So I mean, they could be lying, but crazy stuff happened to me. So it's like, okay, I mean, maybe that did happen,
right?
It's like you don't know. It's just like I don't think you're ever gonna really be able to prove that stuff. I mean,
it's one of those things. It's more of those, and I think so much is subjective. Like, one person's walk in life can be completely different, and their experiences can be completely different from another one's. And just because something is individual to somebody doesn't mean that it's incorrect, or of course you do have crazy people out there, right?
Oh my god, yeah,
there's just tons. But
I think there's a part inside someone or inside of everyone that you want to feel special, or like you're different.
Some people romanticize.
Like, maybe they like kind of elaborate or exaggerate things, talk it up, like, oh, this happened to me, and I mean, which
I've also been involved with people like who, again, whether they want to say like are possessed or have like something going on with them, that like to romanticize it too much or like play into it too much for some reason. Like you said, people want to feel like they're having some kind of supernatural experience, even if it's like what they think being possessed, or like some people just want to have
some kind of excitement. Maybe I don't know. They want to feel like they're in the TV series Supernatural, which was cool for the first few seasons. But after that,
what I do for one of those knives.
But okay, so talking about TV series, Supernatural's cool, but it's like after a while, it's like Sam Dean, brother.
somebody dies.
God.
Somebody they have to break somebody out of hell or something.
Second time hearing the word Sam Dean, it's just like, oh Lord, it's just
Sam.
God, dude, it's so bad. Bobby.
Bobby was great. Bobby was so great.
It is a good show though, but it's
they're coming to an end. Yeah, this is the last season.
I have no idea. I haven't seen anything in years.
I heard they're coming to an end of the last season.
Oh boy. Also, I think I was wanting to bring up curved TVs. Because I mean, talking about
this
TV
is a weird
shows,
transition.
Talking about TV shows that kind of jogged my mind, because we have a curved TV. I know you were like, does it really do anything? you know what I mean?
we were just kind of talking before the show about TVs.
Yeah, well, for the record, it doesn't do jack squat. Okay, so it's like the way I see it is, All right, so we have a 65-inch Samsung curved TV. My wife really wanted one. We got it like a year or two ago. I think we got it for Black Friday. Oh yeah, correct. Because the thing about in the last episode, that was one of the TVs that I got. Crawl through the crowds, pick it up, leave.
Gotcha.
Not a problem. But so she was really wanting one. I'm like, I don't see the point. It's just a regular TV but slightly curved.
Yeah.
It's like the company's like, how can I charge them an extra $700
right.
without doing anything? They got us. Yeah. They just curved the dang TV.
It's one of those things, like, it's kind of cool, but it's like, is it? I feel like, it's any better.
It's a gimmick, I think. I mean, in all fairness, like I said, if you have a lot of lights in the room, it does help with like you not getting a glare. But
like marginally, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not because if you have like a light in front of the TV, you're still going to get a glare. You know, it's right. Like if a light's coming from a different room, it's a lot harder to get a glare, but it's not that big of a deal.
Gotcha.
It's not worth extra $700, guys. Just
right.
get a dang flat TV. I think VR is the future anyway. So just buy the cheapest TV that'll get you by until you get a full VR rig, to be honest.
Now, do you think maybe we should say this for another episode, but like, do you think there'll be a time where like nobody has a TV, everybody just puts on their TV goggles?
That could be a full episode, I think. Maybe. I mean, you know, if you look back before TVs, people would have said TVs are never going to catch on or something like that. I mean, it's yeah, boy, were you wrong. It's actually a conspiracy. I think Hitler wanted a TV in the room of every house.
Really?
That was one of his plans. Yeah, kind of crazy. All your conspirators out there.
That dirty dog.
Dirty dog won.
Anyways, well, before we,
you want to talk about The Irishman, right?
I want to save it for the next episode.
Yeah, sure, it's fine.
Yeah, save it for the next one because I feel like we've, hit people over the head with so many supernatural things. We'll save it for the next one. But you got anything else?
No, that's it. Tune in next week when we talk about The Irishman.
Yeah, our hot takes on The Irishman.
Oh man!
All right, thanks for tuning in, guys.
See you guys
later.